Today, I would like to share a few tips about mixing. I will play you a short excerpt from a vocal track. If you listen carefully, you will hear a kind of whistling in the vocals. I'm going to bring that out more by using an equalizer to emphasize the resonances that bother me here. Can you hear how it is whistling? Once I find these tones, I can just pull them down. So, now they're gone. The vocals sound much better now. The problem with these whistling tones is that they sound very similar to sine tones, and they are extremely disturbing in a mix because they stand out strongly, and you actually always have to get rid of them. Now I'll show you how you can find these tones. For this, you take any equalizer, play your track, and look for the tone that is whistling. It helps if you set the equalizer very sharp. So, now I found it, and I just pull it down. Now it is gone. It can stay like that for now. Let's see where the other tone was. There is the other one. We'll pull it down now too. You have to be a bit careful, of course, because every phrase can have different resonances. That's why I've made sure that I only switch it on at this particular spot. Now it's off. Now it's on. And now it's off again. This is a solution that works most of the time. But there are also other cases where it is not so easy. And this is what I will show you now. This is a different spot, and here the problem is a bit different. Have a listen. There is a sound that stands out very strongly. Now. Now. I've already searched for the tone, and now I'm going to exaggerate it a bit so that you can hear it clearly. Again. what I could do now is what I showed you earlier. I could just pull it down, but the sound is still there now. It's not as dull anymore, a bit more pointed, but almost as loud as before. Now I pull it down even further. Now I have already pulled it down by 24 dB, so it is 4 times quieter than before, and you can still hear it very strongly. And that's because we only pulled down the fundamental, but not all the harmonics. The harmonics are best pulled down with a special equalizer. I have one here. It not only attenuates one frequency, but also all the harmonics. And I can do this with this equalizer by simply adding the harmonics here. Now you can see how they appear. But we don't want to boost it, we want to cut it. So you see now I only pulled it down by 14 dB, so it's twice as soft. But the tone still sounds the same as before, because all the harmonics are still present. We haven't changed the structure at all. So it doesn't sound more pointed, it just sounds quieter. And thus you don't hear our change at all. Let's listen to it before and after. Now, with Of course, you have to be careful not to pull out too much of the other sounds. You have to evaluate that a little bit. In the actual piece, I didn't do it quite so drastically either. So it's more like this. The tone can be somewhat louder. It doesn't have to fit in completely. And again without. Not every equalizer has this function. The equalizer I use is from a Melder production called M-Equalizer, and it is actually free. You just have to register with them, and you can download a whole bunch of plugins. Great equalizer. And as I said, with this special function, which I hardly found anywhere else. Okay, so much for now. Thanks for watching, and I hope you can use these 2 tips. See you next time.